have we made into the end times with humanity? When the structures are crumbling, the financial system is stumbling upon new revelations that have been revealed. The rise of new kind of currencies, a new kind of paradigm is being aroused when people cannot tolerate anymore the financial system of greed that was created during last few centuries, where there is a ruling class and all the other people obey. The first insights were seen around 14 years ago by the creation of Bitcoin, but this idea it's much older. It has been chilling around since the beginning of the internet, but someone made it possible and marketed it really well. But it's not only thing that will liberate people when they have autonomous currencies on the internet. There are hundreds or even thousands of small communities around the world who have their own local money. Like like in the suburb of London of Brixton, they have Brixton Bound. In the city of Totnes in UK, they have Totnes Pound. In the city of Paide in Estonia, they had their own Paide money. And in many, many other cities and communities, people are exchanging value without the interference of the big brother of the government. They are able to actually enjoy themselves, all the people, and pay less tax. Yes, I'm not saying that paying tax to the government is a bad thing, but I'm suggesting that tax system should be reframed for the communities, for the people to decide how they are going to pay their taxes. For example, we have this kind of a city and they elect their mayor and they start casting votes. What kind of things we support? Do we support road tax? Do we support tobacco, alcohol tax? Which kind of things are prohibited in our communities that we are willing to ask uh, tax money from people, and people themselves they choose. Like in Sweden, they have made the retirement funds, the pension, available for a person themselves to choose which kind of a retirement fund they are going to invest their monies in. They can see where their money is going. But the same should be with taxes that we can choose what and to who we are paying, not that someone in the country is regulating. For example, military expenses. If I lived in my own community or city, I would vote that we do not pay any tax for military expenses. We would pay taxes for development of technology to annihilate all the military weaponry. You see, I, because my values, and I know a lot of people have the same values, that the war is not a thing that we should support. It's just a meek blindness that people have, this need to destroy each other. But luckily, we have come into the place where more and more the wars have transposed into the place of virtual or physical warfare, that people are threatening each other with words. Of course, there are conflicts going on in this world on this very moment, but it's less and less compared, for example, 100 years ago. So it is changing, the world is changing, and we need a lot of more people who are able to influence the outcomes that will be positive. And one of the things why people actually make war, they make war, not love, is because they feel lack of something. They feel lack of food. They feel poverty. Like the inner conflict in Syria, it started because they had famine for 5 years in a row, and people decided that Bashar al-Assad government is no good. That started eventually the civil war, but then came, of course, the Russia and America and started developing their war machinery. That's crazy. That's the crazy thing, that there are countries who are still developing their war machinery and making it even worse. So there was this story that the children will stop the war with their psychic powers one day. Hopefully it becomes true. But the money system is the basis of war, because people feel that they do not have enough of something. Yes, it can start from there, that someone did not have enough of her mother's love. Yes, but then it transposes that they feel this lack, that they struggle in life, and then they start to fight. Like what is the immigrant crisis doing in EU? That a lot of immigrants are moving into the countries, and the locals, they feel that their jobs have been taken away, that they do not have any housing. Like in the UK, they have housing crisis, and from there comes anger, because they feel the lack of something, and something has been taken away, and it brings them to violence. But we should aim for, as More said, a utopia where there are no governments but are self-regulatory pieces of communities that are able to regulate their breeding, their their living, their expenses, their incomes, that they are able to actually harness their own vision. And yes, in the future, in the next 5 years, 10 years, there will be a huge change in the world. That there will be the big cities, the megalopolises, etc. They will develop even more, so-called secluded, and they will be more interconnected. But outside of those cities, there will be a lot of communities of people living a different kind of lives. Some people say these are eco-villages, but they do not have to be eco-villages. They can be like-minded communities of a village living with the same aim, or a city, actually, 5,000 people developing beautiful things. So that's where the world is going. We are going through a huge shift. Some people want to urbanize even more, but some people want to become more rural. And before it all commences, we are resetting our financial system, and our financial system is being resetted by ourselves. Like, we are going into the world of cryptocurrency. Like, Trump is a great example, launching his own coin. But it's not the only solution to cryptocurrency. We must aim also for the local currencies and the ways of trade that are maybe forgotten, and maybe we could aim for synchronicity. It's the way of trading when people are in the right place and at the right time, and they are able to offer their services to each other. That is the economy of the future, but there's a lot of time to go over there. So we must have this positive outlook and see the opportunities, how we can glitch the system, come out from them, and help to build a new one that is more aimed and focused on prosperity and helping people, helping them to prosper. Because lack of food, the crisis of food, is just a reason of bad economy. How much food is thrown away annually, and how many people are starving. And obesity and starvation, they are equal in this world. So it's equilibrium, you see. But if we give people their tools and opportunity to grow food, they are able to actually feed themselves. And when we are developing also technologies that make our lives much easier, it all becomes a paradise. But only thing that is holding it back is greed, is lust for money, that some people want to have more and more and more. and they starve small nations, they starve developing countries for their own aims and for their own greed. But if we have better technology, we can stop it. Or actually, if we can reveal the better technology that has been unrevealed, that has been hidden from the sight of all the common and normal people. I know videos from the 70s, Ukraine and Russia, where they are using hydrogen cars, and some cars are running on pure water. But it has been prohibited because this technology is too cheap. You see, too cheap. Some people cannot have enough profit for it. So hopefully the financial system will change and we together are changing it. So I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe and let me know in the comments. What steps would you take to change the system and give hope to humanity? So, subscribe and goodbye.